Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Littlest Reptiles, and today is going to be a video, well, that we're going to share one of the best parts about a reptile business, okay? Let me tell you something. Most of us out there have had a real job at some point in time. I've still got one or two. I can give you one if you want. No, I've got one. And then we're going to flip the script and we're going to let Caleb talk about what it's like to have to help out with my grumpy ass on Patreon. But here, I want to talk about what it's like to work for me. I love working for me when I'm the one working for me. And I'm going to tell you, you would hate working for me most likely, but if you work for you, you'll probably love it too. So this is going to be a quick, easy video just running down some of the things that are great about working for yourself and some of the things that suck about working for yourself. I think we've done something similar at times, but you know, it's a little different now because last time I think I talked about this, I'm pretty sure my reptile facility was much smaller and located in my house. And now it has its own place and its own building and more upkeep and everything else. And I've had to like start using other people to assist me, like, I don't know, accountants and shit and things like that. But here's a couple things, man. When you work for yourself, you can wear and dress how the hell you want. Today, I wore this outfit just to prove a point. I got a hole in my shirt. It's one of my older ones. I don't think the camera even picks that up. Pretty fucking redneck, though. Got a hole in my shirt. Look at this, y'all. My purples don't even match. And it doesn't matter. Because who cares? My wife hates these sweatpants because they're the cuff kind at the ankle. I look like a fucking dumbass. Oh, check those kicks out. Okay? I'm wearing some brown-ass slip-on loafer shit with some good treads. They are super comfortable, and I don't care. I don't care that none of it matches because I'm working for myself. The only boss I have to impress is me, and I care about how comfortable I am, not what kind of business suit I'm wearing. My hair needs cut like 2 weeks ago. I'm getting that done tomorrow. That's driving up a fucking wall. But ain't nobody going to come in and be like, you need to get your hair. That ain't going to happen, okay? If I want to work here with my shirt off, my hair down my back, I fucking can. There's no set time for me to come into the office. I don't have to be here at 9. I don't have to be here at 6. I come in when I want. I work when I want. If I want to be here work until midnight, I'm here working until midnight. If I want to come in at noon, I'm working until noon. When this is my only full-time job, my schedule will probably be something like 10 a.m. to 6:37 p.m. Why? Because I like to sleep in, but I like to be home for dinner. I make my own fucking schedule. If I need a day off, I take it. Within reason, I'll explain here in a minute. If I want to go to a basketball game and watch that and then come back and work, I do it. I get to set up my time. I get to do that. You know what? I can also entertain myself at work. If I'm thirsty and I'm at work, I can have whatever I want to drink. It doesn't even have to be a soda. Or water. I can do that. If I want to drink 17 of those while I'm at work, it ain't going to be a very productive day, but by God, I can do it. I am allowed to do whatever I want to do when I work for myself. And that's the point I want to make. You can tell I've had a couple of those. Right now, listen. It's actually because, yeah, there's a little lost around that. Listen to me, y'all. But it doesn't come without its drawbacks. Yeah, there are some great things like, I don't know, chores at work. That's gone. But there's some shitty things too, you know. One, we should all have our own rules. Once I've done that, and I don't do that very often at work, I can no longer work hot. That part of my day is done. That's just a safety rule. I can work ball pythons because who cares if they bite me? I don't. It's fine. The other thing is, yeah, I can set my own hours, but guess what? They set them too. If something needs done, it has to get done. I can't say the next shift will get it. I can't say, hell, this ain't my problem. No, it is my fucking problem. There ain't nobody else's problem but mine. Like that's where at the end of the day it stops, right? If you're running your own business, good or bad, success or failure, you own it, even when it ain't your fault. There are times I am successful by sheer stupid luck. There are times I fail because of other people's actions. There are times I fail because of my own stupid actions. You own all of it when it's your business because it doesn't matter. Who the fuck are you going to make excuses to? Am I going to tell myself in the mirror, oh, gee, you did a really good job even though that failed? Nobody fucking cares. You own it, you learn, you move forward. You learn who to trust, you learn who not to trust. You learn what to put your faith in, what not to put your faith in. You learn that there are days you're about to leave for vacation and yet you're here and you're late to Christmas, in my case this year, because you're working some electrical issues in your facility, and that comes first. And you're moving animals around because you have to, because you want to keep them safe. Meanwhile, you're missing Christmas with your family. You know what? It's because I own my own business. If it wasn't mine, I could say, fuck, this ain't my problem, and go to Christmas. Nope. My wife's call people, hey, we're going to be late because Matt's got to deal with this. That's part of owning your own business. It stops with you, whether your fault or not. Good luck, bad luck, all of it stops with you. Success or failure, it all stops with you, right? So all those great things about I work the hours I want, I have the dress code I want, I also have the stress of all of this on my shoulders. I have the stress, and I'm not the only one. Kurt, I know, feels it too. You know, the stress of us being successful is on my shoulders and his, and on our wives, and on anybody else's. It's on ours. We're going to make that happen, or we're going to fail at it. You know, it's just the way it is, y'all. And if you're not ready for that, then don't run a business. Whether it's reptiles, or whether it's selling jacks, or opening a store, or a restaurant, or whatever, there is a different kind of pressure that goes with that. If you can't handle that, it ain't the thing for you, man. If you can handle it, then it's a wonderful thing. To me, it's also a wonderful thing to know that I'm not having to check with anybody. I don't have to go and ask permission. I don't have to go and put in I am fucking HR, okay? Wait a minute. I am HR. I want to make sure it doesn't sound like I'm doing something inappropriate. So I'm all by myself, like Green Day says. I'm my own HR, okay? I run HR here at Olympus. I run payroll here at Olympus, which we don't get much, so don't even think about that. I run all of that. It is all my problem. The only other businesses involved are my insurance, which I do that too. And also my CPA. I don't do that. That's why I'm not in the federal pen, is because I let him do my taxes. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, is when it gets to be a full-blown business, there's all these benefits. Man, there's some drawbacks too. They're going to dig. And some of the things that have happened in that time frame of the last probably 6 or 8 months we've had to deal with is I had a snake get out one day while I was working, and it turned into a short day. I had to then start pulling this entire wall apart to get him, because he had, it's my own error. I had him out doing something, and he got kind of coiled in here and wrapped in here, and my options were to let him crawl through or force him out. If I forced him out, there was a good chance I was going to injure him, so I had to let him go. Well, he proceeded to rip all the wires out of this rack and screw a bunch of crap up, so I had to go and rewire like 2 racks and check a bunch of others. Yeah, that was hella fun. Last year at this time, we had all the water freeze up in the house. That was hella fun. Not really. That sucked. So I was like 11 months ago, 10 months ago. Let's see here. Moving the snakes in the middle of Christmas. That happened this year, you know, and we were moving the African vipers, to be specific, and redoing how our heat was set up, because we were popping breakers on sorry, a heater that had been plugged in for golly 3 or 4 weeks. I never popped that breaker. Popped it, I reset it, I turned the heat thing down, took 500 watts off of it. I thought it'd be good. I went and checked it right before I left for Christmas just to make sure it popped again. So then it was problem solving 101 for a long time. You know, we had that happen. What else has happened, Caleb? I know I'm leaving some stupid stuff out.
Man, I mean,
we've had to deal with. Oh, the rat room build.
Yeah,
Kurt's had to deal with that
room.
in a hell of a pinch.
We had that rack go.
Oh yeah, we had to rewire an entire
rack
for heat because the heat went bad in the baby rack.
Yep.
And we're sitting there doing that on the fly. And these are all days when I have other things going on, and your day stops because the reptiles, because we deal with live animals. If my business was
dead animals,
something else, you know, I could have, I'll get to that tomorrow. No, I can't. It has to be fixed. You know, we did have that. I forgot all about that. So we've had that kind of kick up and be an issue. Just all kinds of little bitty things that rear their head that you have to address right then, because there's nobody else to address them for you except for you. You know, you are invested in this. And as it goes, my future goes to an extent. So if I don't do it, there's nothing. But you do get to drink beer at work. So, that's kind of fun. Caleb, anything you want to add about that?
5 years ago, did you think you would be doing this to the level you're doing now?
Let's see, this is 2022, right?
So it's 2017, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. If you go 7 years ago, I didn't. So by 2017, I would say that was where I first had the inclination. The YouTube had taken off. We had produced a little bit. I think that was about the time we started looking at this house even, right? Yeah, I thought I'd be every bit where I'm at. We're kind of on par. Honestly, in some ways, I thought we would have been a step farther. We ran into some issues with heat in the house that slowed us down, some things we had to do that have kind of slowed us down that we've got hopefully fixed up from last year. That we've ran into some food supply issues. We've had to, speed that up and do some things. So if anything, from 5 years ago, where I thought I would be, I may be just a tick behind where I thought I'd be. Not far. I'm not talking like, oh my God, what the hell happened here? Mm-hmm. Just, hey, there's things I didn't anticipate, that's put me here, but we're really where we need to be. And all of that will catch itself up. No problem. If you go back to 2015, we were producing our first few clutches and things, and even 16. I'd have to really look back at 7. It may have been 18 to really say the least. 17, I may not realize where we were going. I kind of thought, there's no way I thought we'd be here. I thought this would be where I was at when I was like 50, So by that standard, we're probably 9 years, 10 years ahead of the game from where I originally planned on getting here, And I never thought we'd be in our own facility at that point. I thought we'd always be in a small room and we'd be running it out of there. And that's what Olympus was going to be. It was just this little boutique breeder was my idea, right? And now I still want to be small, quote unquote. I don't know what you consider small these days. I don't know where that line is between a small breeder, a hobby breeder, a large breeder. I've heard of Justin way back when, but not so far back that the size was much different, referred to himself as, probably like the largest small breeder or something like that there was. And I look at Justin, and to me, I think that's not a small breeder. I don't know how many clutches he produces, but I know it's a pretty good amount. Kevin at Nerd, Brian at BHB, those guys are obviously large-scale breeders. And I have zero intent to be those guys, I don't want to be those guys. I think fucking keep that. And that's not a knock on them whatsoever. That's just not what my dreams are. I don't have a desire to have a collection of 5,000 snakes and I just don't. It's not what I want for me. We've got a little ways to go still to get to where I really want to be, but we're really not that far away on size, if that's what your question's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else you got? That was a good one. We'll knock them out the park.
Is there
shouldn't pound beer, man.
Is there a gene that you wish you'd have gotten into earlier?
Oh, man. Nothing I can say. I'd really have to really think about that. And this is a mindset thing. It's not that there's genes that we could have gotten into that might have been really good for us, or genes we got into that maybe we shouldn't have. Sure there is, But my mindset has always been that hindsight is something I don't want. I learn from things that I fuck up, but I don't look back and go, oh man, if I'd have only gotten this, or oh man, if I'd have only done this, or oh man, if I'd have only moved here, or oh man, if I... And the reason I don't do that is because our brains are a funny tool, right? And we look back and we say, well, if I would have bought into this project, or I would have done this, then I would be X, Y, Z here and there, and I'd have done so well, and I'm such a dumbass. We put ourselves into this hole, we put ourselves down. But the fact of it is, we have no idea what would happen had we done that. We could have bought that, we could have ended up with an infertile animal. We could have bought it, and that animal could have died. You do what you think is best in the moment. And you use your experience to make your decisions and gain knowledge and move forward. But I try not to second guess those decisions I've made once they're made. Once I make it, I put my foot in the ground and I go. And I can always shift gears. I'm not going to say I've never made a bad decision. We all have. But I don't look back and say, well, what would have happened had I done this? Because the truth is, If I go home today and I make a different decision about what show to watch on TV while I sit and eat dinner with my wife, I literally alter the entire universe by that decision based on what I may learn, and I may make something small different tomorrow that may steamroll and be something completely different next month. And then who knows? See, we don't know the effect of our decisions, a la the butterfly effect, which is way above my pay grade and thought process. But the point I'm trying to make is, by looking back and second guessing, we're pretending that we would have known what would have happened had we made that decision. A great example is I had an opportunity at one point in time. I could have left where I'm at, and I'm not from here anyway, so I was a transplant here anyway, and taking this job that one job I was being recruited for and didn't take, that just would have put me in a large city. I didn't follow up with the recruitment, and would have probably sent me several places around the world. Another job would have sent me all over the place and around the world quite a bit, and I could have had that job, and I didn't take it, But I don't look back and say, well, man, if I'd have done that, this and this and this would have happened. I may have hated it, and I didn't take it because I didn't think it was the best decision at the time. One of them that I didn't take because wife number one had gotten a career, and I decided it wouldn't be fair for me to, as soon as she finished that and got this career path that she was on, not just a job, but a career path where she was, to be like, hey, we're going to move here because this is where they're telling me to move. Oh, and then guess what's going to happen, right? In 2 years, we're going to move again. And then in 2 years, we're going to move again. And then maybe we can try to work ourselves to a place we actually want to be. I didn't think that was fair, so I didn't do it. Didn't know we were going to split up and get divorced, But I don't look back and go, well, man, I should have done that because our marriage ended anyway. I could have taken that job and been miserable. I could have taken that job and died on my way to my first station. I mean, I could have taken and failed out of the training. I don't know what would have happened, so I don't spend my time thinking about that. I made the best decision I could at the time. Foot in the ground, we move forward. You ever watch football? You see a running back, if he dances too much, he's done, right? The guys that make positive yards every time, they hit, make a cut. But when they plant that foot and they make a decision, they go. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm making my cut to the right, I'm going right. I can cut back left if I want, but I don't stand in the hole and go, few exceptions. Hello, Le'Veon Bell. But my point being is, you make your decision, you go forward. That's how I operate in life. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, man, that was a really long explanation for a really small question. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll try not to drink beer on camera again. No promises. If you ever watch the live podcast, there was one time I finished about half a bottle of whiskey. Ooh, that was a bad idea. We will catch you all next time.